Jai Sachidanand.
જય સચિદાનંદ કુશલભાઈ એક જ મિનિટ હા
જય સચ્ચિદાનંદ.
જય સચ્ચિદાનંદ
સચિદાનંદ
જય
just 1 minute, just 1 minute. Okay. Okay, Pulinanandji, Jai Sachidanand. Pulinanandji?
Jai Sachidanand.
Please recite the mantra, please. Everybody follow.
Namo Vitragay.
નમો
નમો
વિતરાગાય
વિતરાગાય.
Namo Varihantanam.
નમો
નમો હરિહંતાણમ
Namo
હરિહંતાણમ.
Siddhanam.
નમો
નમો
સિદ્ધાણમ
સિદ્ધાણમ.
Namo Ayariyanam.
નમો આયરિયાણમ
આયરિયાણમ.
Namo Vasayanam.
નમો વજ્જાયનમ
વજ્રાયાણમ
Namo Loe Sauva Sahunam.
નમો લોય
બોલોએ સર્વ સાહુણમ
સાહુણમ.
Eso Panchana Mukkaro.
એસો
એસો પંચનમુખારો
Sauva Pavapanasano.
સૌ
પાવનાસનમ
Manglanancha Sabesem.
મંગલાણમ ચ
જ્ઞાનાર્થ સર્વેસમ
Kadamam Havai Mangalam.
પડવામ
હવૈ મંગળમ
મંગલમ.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ઓમ નમો ભગવતે
ઓ ભગવતે વાસુદેવાય
શિવાય.
Om Namah Shivaya.
ઓમ નમઃ શિવાય
નમઃ શિવાય.
Jai Sachidanand.
જય
જય
સચ્ચિદાનંદ
જય સચ્ચિદાનંદ
જય સચ્ચિદાનંદ
Jai Sachidanand Mahatma. Okay, last time we decided we're going to look into how we are doing Purusharths. For a Purusharth of separation. Okay, so everybody think about your experience about Purusharth of separation, Kushabhai?
Yes, Jai Sachidanand everyone. Jai Sachidanand Rajniji, Jai Sachidanand Pulinanandji, Deepakanandji. See, I want to understand the normality. Dadaji says, come to normality. So, what is normality as per Dadaji, and regarding to moksha path, akram path, and how can we achieve it? So, this is I've sent Pulinanandji some Apsutras. So, because Apsutra also don't have contest, so please give a brief outlook so we can understand what is normality and how we practice it in.
You have sent me, is it?
Yeah, I sent Apsutra. I can share also. I take.
If you can just.
So why don't you share?
Yeah, bless him. Yes, can you see?
Yes.
This in this notepad, can you see this notepad? Yeah, so it is saying anything done in abnormality, the Lord has called this Vishay, worldly obsession. So there are like this I have sent other also the thoughts that arise because of depression or elevation are all wrong thoughts. The thoughts that arise in normality are correct. The path to attaining God is normality. There is moksha through normality. Normality is the backbone of the world. What is normality? The demarcation of like should not remain, and demarcation of dislike should also not remain. What is the essence of normality? Normality above is poison, and below normal is poison. Come to the normality. Normality is the non-self complex where the self is indeed the self. Normality is that takes all the way to the self. Normality itself the absolute element, param tattva of the world. If you violate social, this one it will say violation of the laws of God of mean a violation of the law of Sarvatma, oneness with all living beings, which has brought one's liberation to a halt. Everything depends on normality. If there is a normality, then even the slightest difficulty will be faced. Normality is in every matter is what I refer to as exactness. So this is all the normality which I found. So please give, and I want to understand what Dadaji is saying about normality and with regarding to moksha and how we can achieve it.
Good. You see, we can go through it one by one, but in general terms, if I may say so, that normality is the essence of life. Now, the word normality is matter to relative, normality in all the relative matters. That means at the very gross level, we can say normality in eating, not to eat more, not to eat less. Normality in sleeping, drinking, all those, all our normal functions. So everything in normality is the essence, not more, not less. That is the primary this thing. Some people are absolutely, they do a lot of tyag, they give up things. And some people are too much worldly possessive. So both are two extremes. So that is the gross understanding. Because ultimately, one remains attached to worldly beings or in the relative matters. When one is at either of the extremes, or one comes in the center, then he remains normal. Now, why that is very important? Because when you are normal, then you have a tendency to come towards the soul or Atma. Uh, any Pudgal, eh, what is the starting point of Pudgal? The starting point of Pudgal is Agnanta. Agnanta or ignorance of who the one self is, who one is. Now, because of that, Ragdvesha take place. An elaborate form of Ragdvesha is Krodman Maya. So because of Agnanta, Ragdvesh take place, and because of Ragdvesh, all the worldly living, birth, rebirth, and all that starts. Now, because Ragdvesh inherently is abnormal. If I have rag or attachment for something or some person, for a person or something, then obviously it's not normal. But the moment I have rag for something, by default, I will have dvesh for something else. If I have rag for my son, then obviously I'll have dvesh for someone who will not treat him properly. Yes. If I have rag for my mobile phone, then I will have dvesh for someone else who does anything to that mobile or who talks wrongly about it. Huh? Or if someone has something better than me, then I will have dvesh or feelings of discomfort for that. So if there is rag on one end, dvesh is at the other end. Or if dvesh is at the other end, we can have rag at this end. So rag dvesh inherently are abnormal. That is why in simple terms, in worldly language, he says be normal. So when I try to move from abnormality to normality, say abnormality in eating food, abnormality in anything, earning money for that matter. So when I move from that, obviously I'm coming to the center, and when I come to the center, I'm sort of detached with all the worldly things, neither attached, neither abhorrence. So I'm detached. Now that detachment will ultimately lead me to the pure soul. One cannot remain detached like that. It'll make me come to my pure soul. Or to put it in a different manner, the as and when for Mahatmas in the Akram, this thing, in the Akram path. For Mahatmas, uh, we have got this thing, Praditi, Anubhav, and Laksha of the pure soul. So the moment I am in the pure soul, I am away from the Pudgal. And moment I'm away from the Pudgal, automatically the abnormalities of the Pudgal slowly diminish. They start reducing, and I come towards the pure soul. See? So
So
when
when
we are
one is in Rag Dvesh, when one is in Rag Dvesh, then one is not in the self. This is I understood. Is it right?
yeah. I mean, you can't say it point blank like that. But the Pudgal part is not in the self. One can remain in the self. So uh, one can be an observer of the abnormality of the Pudgal. One can still remain an observer of it. But moment one becomes an observer, the abnormality will gradually diminish or rapidly diminish, and one automatically will come back to it. Because if I'm abnormal, I'm
Eh,
entangled with the Pudgal, and if I'm not entangled with the Pudgal, I'm in the self. And if I'm in the self, I can observe and automatically will start decaying. The abnormality will
So
start
here
decaying.
it says the violation of the laws of God mean a
No,
violation
no,
of
no,
the
one minute,
laws
one
of
minute, one minute. No, yeah, please, 1 minute, 1 minute, please. Now, what I'm saying is, this was the uh, general theme or general principle of the abnormality. Now we can go one by one and see how it correlates with the point that I was trying to make.
so because
If you
time is
violate, no,
limited.
let's take with what you're saying. Let's take this thing, the one in the center. If you violate society laws of society, of the government, of the public, then you will be defamed. The mind will become disturbed. One who violates the laws of nature, if normality is not maintained in eating, then such a person will fall ill. If there is a breach of nature, then nature will give one the fruit or effect or punishment of it. And violation of laws of God means violation of laws of Sarvatma, oneness with all living beings, which has brought one's liberation to a halt. Okay. The last sentence, what it says is basically violation of Sarvatma means abheta or oneness with all beings. So if I'm not with oneness with everybody, that is having oneness with any living being, it can be human, non-human, basically can only come through Atma. That is, if I am the pure soul, obviously I will see the pure soul in the other packing. And that is the only oneness. The packings are different. I may be a human being, the other may be an animal or a person also. So that there will be a difference.
So what are the laws of the God?
Laws of
Violation.
and violation of the laws of God, laws of God is nothing but I am pure soul and everybody else is pure soul. Or basically, if you if I may slightly elaborate, it is basically appreciating and recognizing the six eternal elements. In this
Okay.
world is nothing but the six eternal elements and interplay of the six eternal elements, which has given rise to various life forms. And of the six, essentially it is the coming together of two eternal elements, the Pudgal as well as the soul, which has given rise to this I and my and all the worldly life cycles. So
So
that
that
is
vision
the
is not there. Then vision is not there. Then the oneness with the other living beings is not there.
it's not possible. It's not. I mean, yeah, it's not possible at the experience level, but maybe at the theoretical level, one can have. A person who is slightly more advanced spiritually, at an understanding level, he can have that. I am also soul. Others are also soul. So to that extent, he can get little benefit of it, of oneness.
and then he cannot go. He cannot be liberated from the self because he has the differences. He is experiencing differences between himself and others and
As
everything.
long as we experience differences, obviously we cannot be anchored in our soul.
Hmm. Okay. And normality in every matter is what I refer to as exactness.
Huh. Exactness, no? Because normality in every matter is exactness.
Hmm.
Because you
Yeah.
see, it's I understand. You can very easy to understand based on the context with which I was saying.
What is the meaning of exactness actually?
Exactness means what the thing is in absolute terms. In absolute
Hmm.
terms. Exactly what am I? Who am I? I am the pure soul. And what is this body? Body is just a neighbor, this thing, a mix of all Parmanus based on what I have charged in the place body. So that is exactness. That is the absolute truth. Exactness means the absolute truth.
So normality in every matter is what I refer to exactness. I don't understand still.
What exactness that means? I am the pure soul. The body is different. Everybody is different. So moment I am anchored in my pure soul, the Pudgal will automatically come to normality. If not immediately, over a period of time, gradually.
Period of time.
Because it's
so that
decaying for Mahatmas like us. For Mahatmas like us, it is a decaying matter because we have received this self-awareness of the soul by the grace of the Gnani. The Pudgal part is now decaying and it's coming towards normality. All of us are experiencing that. No, all of us are, for all Mahatmas, the Kashais are reducing. The reduction of Kashais, Krodh, Man, Maya itself is a sign of returning to normality. The Pudgal becomes pure. Pure becomes normal. Normal means liberated.
the
So for
other
us,
thing,
it is a matter of time. Whereas in the Kramik mark, it's a step-by-step process over various, spread out over various births.
yeah. The other ones which the worldly normality, and there's one the worldly normality and the one with respect to the spiritual, with respect to the moksha. I wanted to understand which you explained with respect to the spiritual. The worldly I understand little bit that because everything needs balance. That is the normality. Otherwise, it will not function properly. That is what I understand. I have that in short, if I summarize. Is it correct, right?
Yes, yes. Because then you see, abnormality even in worldly life will make one remain stuck to the Pudgal, will not bring him back to soul.
No, even the worldly life will not function properly if
Yes,
there
even
is.
the worldly life will not function properly. True, true, true,
Yeah, that is
true.
what I.
Yes, true, true, true.
This I got. Okay, I got it. Thank you. Jai
Thank you.
Satchidanand.
Yes.
Deepakanandji?
Jai Satchidanand. If I just brief it out, most of it is covered. But as Dada has said, that when my mind, speech, and body hurt others, I'm not normal. If I desire any perishable thing in this world, I will not be normal. If I break societal law in the sense, if I'm in India, I have to follow the land law of India. If I'm in America, I have to follow laws of America. So if I break that, then I'm not normal. Then we have laws of nature in the sense, what a good example is given, normality in eating, sleeping, all those matter, which is our daily day-to-day routine, you can say. If it is not normal, then you fall sick, so which is not normal. And finally, it is said that if you don't follow law of God, that is, if you don't experience oneness with everyone, then you are not normal. Apart from that, the way Dada has given the 9 diamonds, if we are not having all those qualities which are given in 9 diamonds, we are not normal. And if you further say, then the definition of health, which is given by WHO or anywhere where it is given, but if it is to be seen nicely and consolidated understanding, then free from physical pain, any kind of physical pain, free from physical pain is normality. Then free from all kind of passion, that is anger, pride, possessiveness, and greed, likes and dislikes, that is there. And finally, which is related to spiritual matter, free from selfishness. That is, you experience oneness with all, so you're not selfish. So with all this vast area which encompasses definition of normality, which can be achieved easily through self-realization. Once you realize, once the third eye of Shiva, that is our third eye opens, which is eye of knowledge, then with that, having known the knower, everything will get known and we will come to know every bit of abnormality which is there in our being, that is relative self, and we will make our relative perfect, normal, healthy. So it is nicely covered. So I believe all these examples, what these Apta Sutras are narrated, where Dada has revealed the definition or expands, or who would we call as normal, is just wonderful. Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand. Okay, Mahatma, anybody who wants to share how we do Purusharth for separation? There are many, many ways of doing separation, Pulinanandji. Maybe you want to dwell on some, Deepakanandji, then maybe we'll come back. Okay, Deepakanandji.
Jai Satchidanand. The best way to experience separation is being separate. We are made separate by realizing our true self as pure soul, distinctly separate from the body self, mind, speech, and body bundle. So the evident experience of separation is you get to know, understand, and correct all the abnormalities, deformities, slackness, weaknesses you find in your mind, speech, body. And at the same time, you will see all others absolutely innocent. So all your focus will be on your relative self or body self, and you will not skip even smallest mistake. That will be the extreme experience of separateness, whereas you see all these mistakes, smallest mistakes, and you will not fail to correct them also. And that will definitely lead us to normality, and that normality is perfection. That is where our pure soul experience reaches its absoluteness, perfectness, which would help us liberate. Jai Satchidanand.
Pulinanandji?
Because you're right. Moment you are separate, you can observe file number one better. Or if you observe file number one better, you are separate. And moment you're separate, you can obviously see all the shortcomings and even the good things. In addition, we can also see the situation file number one is put in. The circumstances surrounding file number one. He may want to do something, but it may not take place. The required other missing factors, evidences may be missing, So we can, the Vyavasthit Shakti at play, that Vyavasthit Shakti is at play, we can start realizing more more properly or with greater awareness. That I want to do something, but things are not falling in place because Vyavasthit, some evidences are missing. And that's how we can see that the other person as a non-doer. Although he said, as he said, he's a innocent, we can also see him as the non-doer. If it's a person or if it's situation or some things, then you can see that some elements are not playing their part. Or if things work our way in worldly matters, if things work our way, you want to organize some event or you want to go somewhere or want to do something and you're able to do it, then you can understand that favorable circumstances did but allow you to do it. So third Agna also enhanced an enhanced awareness of the third Agna, an enhanced awareness of Vyavasthit Shakti at play will also come, we'll be aware of it, we'll be able to observe it in the separateness part. And other thing that will happen is when that happens, that Vyavasthit is the doer, the impact on us will also reduce. If I am in the pure soul awareness, if I am in the state of enhanced state of separateness by way of experience or by way of Jagrati, then others' behaviors will have minimum impact or no impact. In the sense, I can see its impact in file number 1. And I can observe file number 1. It's not happening to me. He did not speak by rudely to me. He spoke to file number 1 rudely, like it. You know? So the impact of other behaviors on the ego will either reduce or it will be immediately squared up with the right gnana. Even there's an impact. No, he's not the doer. It was your hisab, your karmic account, which got cleared. You know? So the gnana awareness will pop up immediately. In enhanced separateness, we'll be able to see the impact of others will be minimized. Or we can observe that this impact is taking place on whom? It's taking place on file number 1. So that way, it's happening with me. That it's not with me, it's with file number 1. That awareness will be there, and then that will have a very positive impact in the sense of that you're at bliss. You're experiencing bliss because it's happening to file number 1, and I'm an observer of the file number. So it will reduce all the stress and strains because all expectations diminish. He should do this, I should do this should happen. All that goes away. Just observe Vyavasthit at play after all the initial efforts have been taken care of that. So that is the thing that comes to my mind.
Okay, Alta man.
Yes. Jai Sachidanand Pulinanandji, Jai Sachidanand Deepakanandji, Jai Sachidanand Mahatma. Yeah, over the last so many months, I do see greater awareness of where I want to go. And I also noticed we were talking about this Vyavasthit Sakti and what happens when I say that this is happening to file number 1, this is not real Lata. When I do that, what happens is automatically, I don't know, I don't know whether that's the way it happens to me at least. See, there are no problems, there are no confrontations. It looks like the people whom I deal with are kinder, nicer, and or maybe even if something does not go well, file A is able to accept it. Whatever happens, accept it. I mean, as there is an increased awareness of the self. I mean, that is something I do experience. I have to say that.
Pulinanandji?
It's very good, perfect. That is exactly what you have to express. The moment you express yourself, so you will be more equanimous, you will be more, balanced. And as a result, it will have a fallout on the others. As you said, behaviors of others also were more appropriate or more soothing, if you may say so. So that is a fallout because we ourselves are not throwing out any negative vibrations, not throwing out any.
Right.
We
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. I mean, when you don't show negative vibrations, when you don't sit on judgment, automatically the reactions are positive.
Right. So now we have, in this process, we have discovered one of the factors of why people don't talk properly or behave properly.
True.
Because we are judgmental and are passing out negative vibrations So those reach them and then they are disturbed. And when they are disturbed, obviously their reaction or behaviors with us will be of a disturbed nature. But if I send out loving, soothing, and positive vibrations, that is positive. At least one thing is not sending negative vibrations, and one is sending positive, soothing vibrations. The two different aspects. So at least first I think you stop the negativity, so half the problem is solved. But in that, we are at calm and peace internally. When I'm
Correct.
not thinking negative,
Absolutely.
he is like that or she is like that. If I'm not judgmental, I'm at peace first thing. And
Correct.
proactively, so if the other person is not hurt or disturbed, no negativity has gone out. Now, one step ahead, I'm saying is that if I am giving out positive vibes, he's a good person, let there be oneness with he or she. Oneness is, of course, at a soul level, but intent is once we have that intention, so may the welfare of the other person take place. So I'm sending out positive vibes. Now, positive vibes will have a positive effect on the person. He or she will have a good feelings for us, which will lead to the other person behaving in a more peaceful manner with us, a soothing manner with us, soothing to us.
Very
He or
true.
she, we feel
Very
comfortable.
true. Very
We feel
true.
so basically, you know what? This is just jugglery of file number one's mind and intellect. Where earlier in ignorance state, we were with in the Ragdvesha, in earlier ignorance state, when we were not realizing ourselves, we were in the Ragdvesh mode. File number was Ragdvesh mode, and we were also entangled, and all the Ragdvesh was going out, positive and negative vibes were going out. Now that we are come in the realized state that I am the pure soul, and file number one, the wrong things of file number, we are catching them in the bud and saying, no, I'm not
Very true.
agreeable. I'm not agreeable to this. So that the discharge part, see, Ragesh will take place because that is part of discharge. So the discharge part, we are not getting entangled into it, and so we are withdrawing from it. And when you're withdrawing from it, it decays very fast.
Right.
And so
Exactly.
negativity does not go out. So that does not have so that's good. And then proactively, if we say positive vibes, then it will affect him positively, and he'll have the same. So the summary of the point I'm trying to drive is that with the help of this Dada's Gnan, with the help of the right understanding that we are getting through this Dada's Gnan, that everybody is innocent, everybody is pure soul, and he or she is only a nimit or instrument for executing karmas and all that. So with that, with this piece of information, this knowledge, uh, our intellect is now working in the right direction. It is not seeing other as the doer, it is seeing ourselves as a doer, or other as the innocent. The perspective of viewing things and people has changed. And
Very
so,
good.
and the Pudgal then operating, or the file number operating, and the right understanding gives right results. Sending
Thank
vibration
you.
is a Pudgal. It is nothing to do with Atma. If I am in the soul, then I only say Shuddhatma, that's all. I only say Vyavasthi Shakti, that's all. Or maximum, if I do interact, I will say file and let me do Sambhava Nikal, economically settled, that's all.
Mm.
But this is the mind, the discharge mind is so full of, or karmas, it won't sit still at that. No negative will start. So then you have to counterbalance with positivity to,
Mm.
to, to nullify the negativity. May the good of the other take place. May the he enlightened. May his, you know, that will stop our negativity, make ourselves at happy peace. And that is file number one. V means file number one. And the positive on the file number one, or file opposite side, file number 3, 4, whatever, 2, 3, 4. So it's interplay of two pudgals, interplay of relative matters, which makes it all balance out the negativity to positivity, so that we remain in directly nahi rehta hai,
Oh,
because we have compressed so many
very good.
karmas. So if the effect of the karmas is nullified with the wrong understanding, with the right understanding. Wrong understanding, he's a right understanding, no, he's innocent. He is very idiot, no, may the good will take place. I'm just balancing the two,
Mm.
negative, positivity with the negative. So my Pudgal is getting balanced. The other Pudgal or opposite Pudgal or file number file is also getting balanced. And that relaxation in my Pudgal, we talk properly. I'm so elevated, I'm so peaceful. Now. Then I can remain very lazy in the pure soul. So
Correct.
it's one way from going from negative Pudgal, positive Pudgal, and remaining in anchoring in soul. It's one way. There are many numbers. So I just try to amplify technically the experience that you shared, that I'm realizing myself and people are talking nicely to me. I'm seeing. So what was the mechanics that works behind that is what I was trying to share.
Correct.
Yeah, Jason.
Thank you.
Deepakanandji?
Jai Sachidanand, with this realization of ourself, we have clearly identified relative and the real.
True.
I am not very sure about the exact translation of Vyavhar as relative and Nishchay as real, but that the word Vyavhar itself reflects or indicates whatever was caused gets effected out. Whatever in the form of seed gets resulted out as fruit. And we see those things within our own body self. And we perceive the body self as Vyavhar. And way we see others with two viewpoints as relative, I will say Vyavhar and Nishchay. And so nicely as Dada has said, Vyavhar means if you are standing in front of the mirror, whatever you do outside, the mirror reflects what you do outside. You have no problem understanding this and you have no complaint why the mirror is showing like this. But when it our real life, worldly life, we come across the same Vyavhar in its absolute truth as fact, but not able to understand because of the intellect which always intervenes and misguides us. But is also Vyavhar in the sense it is your reflection. That is, your means Lata's reflection. And pure soul as I am, I perceive the reflection, perceive the object and the reflection both. So I have no problem. And with that understanding, I remain cool because I, as I am pure soul, got separated from Latha. And Latha is what we have. So with this understanding, when we are, that is, if Latha is not sending any vibration, then definitely she is not going to receive. And in spite of her not sending any negativities, but still if she receives, then you come to know. Lata will not say, Lata's intellect will say, this is wrong. I haven't done anything wrong. Because the perceptive power of intellect is limited. It sees what is happening. It cannot anticipate or see what had caused this, which only knowledge, that is pure soul vision or pure soul perception, can see, understand, and acknowledge it. So with this understanding, we are able to understand our body self, that is Vyavhar, better, perfectly, and we are also able to handle disturbing situation as part of past karma results. So this is a wonderful part and you are doing great. Continue doing it, and I believe this will reveal and unfold several facts naturally about nature, about Vyavhar as such. The finality is we know that Nishchay is one because pure soul in its quality is identical everywhere. In the same quality-wise, Vyavhar is one. It's not different. But because of manifestation which is misleading, viewed differently by our intellect, analyzed differently by our intellect, by our five senses which are under karmic pressure, that is ignorant projection. That's why the same thing is viewed differently by different people. But with the pure soul vision, that is third eye vision, we will be able to see everything as one and that will be the finality of our experience, where we experience oneness with all, which Kashyap brought out in that Normality Apta Sutra. Great.
Jai Sachidanand. Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand.
Jai.
Yeah, man.
Jai Sachidanand Pulinanandji, Jai Sachidanand Deepakanandji, Jai Sachidanand Mahatmas. This is again, I'm looking at a saying which came in WhatsApp. Dada's saying, he said, it is not possible to know who I am by doing something. For doing anything, ego is required. And where there is ego, who I am cannot be known.
Okay,
So,
Deepakanandji.
Sachidanand, so nicely revealed and explained by Dada Bhagwan that because the activity part and the knowledge part both are separate. And activity by its very inherent nature is a result of egoistic projection. So it is ego which is making it happen with other circumstances favorable. So that activity part or the ego part or ignorance cannot know who am I, which is totally different and very nicely said. So here is what Dada said, if you want to know who you are, then look out for someone who has known who he is. And it is only he who can make you realize who you are. And you know the best part, word meaning of Atma is that who you are. So we have Atma, and I don't know how would you say or elaborate soul. I don't know, but anyway, but that Atma, the Sanskrit meaning of Atma is that's who you are. And they say, know yourself. That's who you are. Self is Atma. And we know Atma is one which has the knowing power. And the body has doing power. So anything you do, probably you will become eligible to know yourself. But finally, you will come to know yourself only from one who has realized his self and has power to open that treasure of your knowledge within you and make you realize who you are. So that's perfect, wonderful. Jai Sachidanand.
Deepakanandji. Pulinanandji.
You see, it's very simple. For doing anything, ego is required, and where there is ego, who I cannot know. Now, if you go into little depth of it, what is ego? Ego is nothing but the wrong belief. Na? What is ego? Is just a wrong belief. The belief that I am so and so, I am the name bearer, I am Suresh. So the belief that I am the Sura, that belief is called ego. Really speaking, I am the pure soul. Right? I am the pure soul. But because of circumstantial evidence, when the matter and soul, two eternal elements, matter and soul, come close together, this third element of I is generated. And that believes that I am so and so. I am the matter or I am the name bearer. I am Suresh. Now, I am Suresh, that belief itself is called ego.
Okay.
So, if I am Suresh, obviously I cannot know I am pure soul.
Yes, yes.
So, where that I am is there, where that ego is there, it cannot know. And the second thing, what happened was absolutely elemental tattva point of view. I am Suresh and I am the doer. I did this. I am so and so and I am the doer. That karta is what also is there by default in ignorance state. I did this, I did that, I am the doer. And he did to me like this, did like so. I am also the doer, I am also the sufferer. So all that is happening at the ego level, because I am Suresh, so I did this, I am the doer, and he did this to me. So I am the sufferer also. He spoke badly to me. So I am the doer and I am the sufferer. So as long as all that is there, I'm doing something, good or bad, then I'm the doer. I'm doer, that means I'm in the ego state.
Yes, yes, yes.
So it is not possible to know who am I by doing something. Something in the sense, jab karo, tap karo. I did job, I did tap, I did penance, I did fasting, I did this, I did that, you see. So by doing something means doing anything, either relative matter or the real matter, means towards this religion or spiritual kind.
Yes,
As long
but
as the doership is there, doership is there, that means there is a doer. The doer means it's a wrong belief, na? Because the pure soul itself cannot do anything.
yes, yes, yes.
So
And when
that
that
ego is at
Purusharth,
play in any
yeah, when the
doership. The ego is
Purusharth
at play.
comes, when you do the Purusharth and when you're
I
trying
made
to
this
separate,
recipe. My sister told me this. My sister told me this recipe.
right? Right.
So the ego is always there. As long as ego is there, then you are not in this thing, the I state, the peaceful state.
Yes, and I was thinking
This is
when,
what this sutra is trying to say.
yeah,
Basically, it is for non. Basically, it's for a mumoksha, that if you want to realize yourself by doing nothing, you cannot realize by yourself. You are able to realize yourself only by a person who has realized his own self.
okay, okay,
Like if you are ill and want to cure, then you have to go to a doctor. Or if you want to make ornaments, you have to go to the goldsmith. Similarly, if you want to realize yourself, you have to go to a person who has realized his own self, or a Gnani Purush. To realize the self, you have to go to a self-realized person, a Gnani. But if you try to do it, then you cannot realize it yourself directly. You will need a guide who will tell you what to do, either Kramik mark or the Akram mark, both ways.
and what about the when we do the Purusharth, when that is like you're doing the Kirtan or everything, the Japam or whatever, and again, will that result in a spiritual ego? Will that again say that I am doing it, I'm praying, or do we have to observe the separateness at every stage?
No, if you're talking of Mahatmas, we are separate. Only that awareness of separateness has to be brought. That's all. That whatever activity is being done, whether related to our Gnan or Agnas, that is being done by file number 1.
Okay.
For us, this is the thing that matters.
Yes, now I understand. Yes.
Deepakanandji?
Yes, Sachita.
Yeah, Jai Sachidanand. At times, if someone gets involved in meditation, self-observation, and with great elaboration, if he or she start doing it, an ego can come up,
Yes,
popping up, and maybe claiming that, I do all this meditation and I do this and that. You guys are not doing anything. So that awareness is also necessary, that apparently it is seen as if you are doing something, but actually you are using the pure soul light to perceive your own shortcomings.
Okay.
So this meditation is not an activity once you are self-realized. It is activity you are focusing the pure soul perception power to identify, acknowledge and correct your mistakes so that you purify yourself.
Okay.
And also when other circumstances are favorable, that you are able to do, not otherwise.
Yes.
So purely it is use of our pure soul power to correct our vyavhar.
Okay.
Jai Sachidanand.
Yes, Sachidanand. Do I have time for another question?
Yes.
Go ahead.
It is not. It's again.
Before that, Pulinanandji wants to make a comment and then you can have a question. Pulinanandji?
Very quickly, now since you talked for us, what does it mean? We as Mahatmas, where do we this thing? One little simple example. At times we are able to do Vidhi very nicely with full focus and attention. At times we don't express. So
Yes.
that itself is there, no? The doer is separate, and that I could do Vidhi properly, I could not do with properly is the observer.
Yes, it's there.
The circumstances also play a part. But that's why. So the doer and separate are separate. That's what.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, good.
Okay, Shalyaben?
This is again the first May saying from the calendar. It said, as much as you clash with someone, their Parmanus will ingress within you. As a result, both of you will suffer. Is this the same thing that Pulinanandji was talking about, that positive Pudgals and the negative Pudgals, the positive vibrations?
It does work. It's the same thing. As much as you clash with someone, their Parmanus will ingress within you. What basically it's very simple, na? When you clash with someone, I'm right, you are not right. And then there's a clash, then say, oh, after the clash is over, in our mind it will go on. He's like that, she's like that, she doesn't understand, she's always played, she's adamant, she's unfair, etc., etc. So you'll be thinking so much of the other person's negative attributes. So all the negativity will come within you.
So it's the same thing that you're mentioning earlier.
So we are unnecessary, in a way we are doing nididhyasan of the negative qualities of the other person. So all that comes into us then.
The Parmanus will come. Okay. Okay, got
So
it.
then both suffer, no? Other person will also suffer. Yeah.
Both of us will suffer, definitely.
Because you see, when I suffer, she or she like that, so I'll have negative vibrations for the other person. I will think negatively. So again, those negativity will go to the other person. So
Yes.
they will also suffer.
Yes.
So like that.
Okay.
Deepakanandji?
Yeah. Clash means it's an non-adherence, that you don't accept the other person and there is a verbal wrangle. So if you are telling someone, then after a while you will experience disturbance within your own self.
Yes.
At the same time, if someone has told you something in a harsh way, then again you will have this feeling of that disturbance will be there. So whether it goes out from here or it is received from outside, both ways you start feeling disturbed. So the best way, be watchful, be vigilant, and whenever such a thing come up, then it is matter of correction, forgiveness, and we must fix that rightly.
Maintain normality.
Yes, bring it to normality. Perfect.
Thank you. Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand.
Okay, JSS, we're almost coming to the end. Any thoughts for today, Pulinanandji, Deepakanandji?
It's going on well, based on these sutras and all, pertinent sutras related to the separateness, or pertinent sutras relating to our Purusharth. But if not experience, even based on the sutras, we can trigger some discussions which will help us advance. That's what I feel. Anything
Okay.
The three statements what Dada has given for separation, that I am separate, body self, Deepakanandji is separate, I am real, body self, Deepakanandji is relative. And what is the third one?
Permanent and temporary.
Relative real.
I am permanent and body self, Deepakanandji is temporary. Even contemplating on these three sentences what Dada has given, that was the last year, 1987, and he had sent this message to all Mahatmas. And this had been working out very well. Even we are using this same thing with the kids also, and it is helping very well. So I believe even contemplating on these three sentences will also help us remain separate, understand, and find our mistake and correct ourselves to become normal. Jai Sachidanand.
Okay, sounds good. So next Tuesday we will not have the satsang, and will come the following week.
Yes.
Okay.
Any function is there? Anything there?
Shibir, we are all in Shibir.
Shibir. Yes. Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, one thing I don't know, Arunaben cannot talk because she lost the voice. But one of the things in before our Vidhi sessions, we had done just consciously keep on saying relative when you see something, when you see the other person or something. And we did it for a while, and it's really helped our consciousness of looking into that, and our behavior, etc., really changed. So that was our experience. Just reciting all the time, relative, real, relative, real, and just as a conscious Purusharth part of it. So that was a good experience, and everybody had a good separation for that one, just for the benefit of people. Yeah.
I would like to suggest, really, when I came to know about the real actual meaning of Vyavahar, I believe instead of using relative, yes, it's good, but certain times, these words are so effective and precise. Okay, the translation is relative, but I really have to investigate about the meaning of relative, but the meaning of Vyavahar is fantastic. Vyavahar itself says, and if you see this is Vyavahar and inside is Nishchay, it will be great. So using this word Vyavahar itself means that whatever was caused gets affected out. I don't know, relative, does it mean relative? I believe it is changing with respect to it means. But still I need to investigate the word relative. But the better one would be see Vyavahar and Nishchay. It will be more effective. It will be more experiential, because it will make us experience of what is Vyavahar and what is Nishchay precisely. Jai Satchidanand.
Yeah, one experience, we had during that time was when you say relative, real, because then you have a tendency to see Siddhartha in other persons or plants and trees and everything. So that really helped us. So we can try this.
Absolutely, but that this word Vyavahar and Nishchay itself means a lot, I'm saying. That's true. I'm not arguing that, but at the same time, if you try to contemplate and use these words, although they are Sanskrit word or Gujarati word, but it will be more effective because it hits its meaning.
Yeah, I think you're right, because now when we did relative, and now this one, if we start using, we'll try it and see what happens. But
Yeah.
please take a note on that. We'll try that, because you are right, because there's a higher version of awareness, I think.
Yes, very much.
Okay,
Yes,
so sounds good. Deepakanji, can you 3 months, everybody, please follow.
Namo Vitragai.
Namo Vitraga.
Namo Tanam.
Namo
Namo
Dhanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo
Siddhanam.
Siddhanam.
Dhanam.
Ayariyanam.
Namo
Hariyanam.
Namo Vajjayanam.
Namo
Namo Uvajayanam.
Namo Loe Samvasahunam.
Namo Loe Savasahunam.
Eso Panchanamukkaro.
Eso Panchanamukaro.
Vapavappanasano.
Sarvapavapanasano.
Mangalanam cha Savesim.
Mangalanam cha Sarvesam.
Padmam Havai Mangalam.
Paramam Havai Mangalam.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai
Jai Satya
Jai
Purinanandji,
Satchidanand.
Deepakanji, Mahatma,
Jai
Jai
Satchidanand.
Satchidanand.